guys, welcome back to the Voice of Diabetes. This is Bytyqi, and today make sure you guys are tuning in because we are going to talk about vegetables and which vegetables are best for diabetics and why. So we know the vegetables are very good for us. Naturally, they are obviously very delicious. They have a lot of nutrients, they have vitamins, they have a lot of water content, and they also have certain things that make them better than others when it comes to diabetics. So make sure you guys watch until the end because I'm going to start with number 8 and we're going to work our way down to number 1. So number 8 is going to be mushrooms, believe it or not. I know mushrooms are actually one of my favorites, especially because I love chicken marsala so much. And obviously chicken marsala is made with mushrooms. But anyways, that's besides the point. The reason why mushrooms are really good is that we know that in the last video that I uploaded, I talked about metformin causing B12 deficiency, and that we've seen this in many patients who are on metformin. If you haven't seen that video, guys, make sure you check it out. I am going to link it at the end of the video. So if you haven't watched it yet, you probably will benefit from it because I talk about metformin and B12 deficiency. But anyways, getting back to mushrooms, they actually contain a lot of B12 vitamin. So they're very good for diabetics, especially those who are on metformin, who can develop B12 deficiency as a result. Mushrooms can be helpful for you. So make sure that you keep that in mind next time you are cooking. Number 7 is actually going to be lettuce. We know lettuce are actually harmless. They are made up a lot of water, but they also contain a lot of fiber, and we know that fiber is very good and it helps control blood sugar levels. So what that means is that when the food has a lot of fiber, like lettuce does, what you're seeing is after you eat, let's just say you had a chicken sandwich, and obviously the bread component of the chicken sandwich would turn into sugar because it has to, that's what a starch is. When you are having fiber along with it, what happens? It helps slow down the absorption of that starch so you don't see such a spike in blood sugars. Number 6, guys, is one of my personal favorites. Cucumbers. I absolutely love cucumbers. They are very good, they're very delicious, and obviously they contain a lot of water, which is good for us, you know, for hydration purposes, but also cucumbers also have a lot of fiber as well. And as mentioned earlier, fiber is very good when we are talking about glycemic control. Number 5, guys, actually number 5, I don't care much for tomatoes. I know I am one of the very few that does not like tomatoes. I'll eat them, but I am not crazy about them. So tomatoes are actually very good because they also do have that little sweet taste to them as well. So patients sometimes who crave that sweet taste, they will benefit from having some tomatoes. I know a lot of my patients say that they'll get a little bit of the cherry tomatoes and they'll put some ranch on it, and that will actually make them feel very full and they feel very good, and obviously it does not spike up their blood sugars. Tomatoes have been linked to lowering heart disease. And obviously we know that diabetics are at increased risk for heart disease, statistically speaking. So obviously diabetics, I do encourage that if they like tomatoes to incorporate them into their diet regularly because of the reduction in heart disease and obviously them being a higher risk for developing heart disease. Even for myself, obviously, because of my own family history, I'm always trying to incorporate new things that I learn more about into my diet. And although my diet is not 100% perfect, I'm always trying to better it every day. So obviously I can prevent some of these possible illnesses like diabetes that runs in my family. So number 4, guys, is my absolute favorite, and it is spinach. Spinach is delicious. I try to incorporate it at least 3 to 4 times a week into either a salad. Sometimes I'll make breakfast and I'll throw it in eggs. I try to incorporate it whenever I can because it's obviously very nutrient dense, also very high in protein, and we know that protein is very good for helping maintain a good glycemic control. It's also very rich in iron, so that's also very good, and it helps maintain our blood flow. So absolutely spinach is very good, especially when we are talking about diabetics having issues with circulation, which I will obviously continue. I will talk about complications in the next upcoming videos, but obviously we know that this is very good as patients with diabetes tend to have some circulatory problems, so spinach can help with that. Before we move on to number 3, if you guys are enjoying these videos, please support my channel and subscribe to it, like, comment, share with family, share with friends that you think would benefit from it. So moving on to number 3 is going to be cabbage. Cabbage is actually very good for us. It helps boost our immunity, and it's also very high in vitamin C. It helps keeps our heart healthy, and obviously has a lot of fiber as well. And as I mentioned, fiber is very good for digestion. Also, it helps from keeping our blood sugars from going too high. So next time you are shopping, guys, make sure you put some cabbage in your cart because your body will thank you. Number 2 is broccoli. I love broccoli. Broccoli is very good. Not only is it very dense in nutrients, but actually broccoli acts like a probiotic. So what is a probiotic? Probiotic actually helps protect the gut, the natural bacteria in our gut. Unfortunately, you know that diabetics are at increased risk for infection. We tend to put diabetics on antibiotics much quicker than we would put someone without diabetes. So let's just say I have a patient with the same injury. One is a diabetic and the other one is not a diabetic. It's very likely that the diabetic will leave with antibiotics. And the reason why is that I am not the person to throw antibiotics at patients by any means, especially with the overuse of antibiotic issue we have going on. But I would much rather start the patient on an antibiotic than have them have an infection that can obviously they can go septic, it can get into their blood, they can end up with an amputation. So with diabetics, we don't play around. I am telling you, I'll have a patient call me and say, oh, I bumped into something, I have a little scar. I have them come in, and if I feel like that's very prone for infection, and not to give you a whole lecture, but I'm just trying to tell you that diabetics, we are more prone to starting them on antibiotics, and we know that antibiotics kills the good bacteria and the bad bacteria in our gut, which can lead to other issues, which obviously I'm not going to talk in this video. But broccoli acts as a probiotic, meaning that it helps protect the natural flora of our gut, which is very good for our digestion and helping obviously us thrive. So this is a very good choice, and not only is it very high in fiber, but broccoli has a lot of protein as well. It's a high protein, so for a diabetic, you cannot get better than when you have a protein and a fiber in the same food, in this case, in the same vegetable. So broccoli is definitely a good choice. Number 1, guys, is gonna be carrots. I hated carrots for so long. Now I've actually come to love carrots a lot. Maybe because I know how beneficial they are, and now it's the mind over matter thing. But I eat carrots, believe it or not, all the time. During the night, if I'm feeling hungry, I'll grab some carrots, sometimes some peanut butter, and I'll just dip them in peanut butter, and they are very good. They're very filling. They're a non-starchy vegetable, which means it has pretty little sugar content. It's high in fiber. It's very high in vitamin A, which helps protect our eyes. And we know that one of the main complications of uncontrolled diabetes, or diabetes in general, when we have it for a chronic amount of time or a very long time, is we can have vision or eye problems. So I recommend carrots to patients all the time. Not is it only good for their blood sugars, but also protecting their vision and helping them protect and maintain good eye health. So guys, again, thank you for tuning in. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time.